Hello, I'm Liz. Welcome to Liz Rocks and Stuff. It's time to see what's in my tumbler. We're going to start out with the amber. This was in stage 1 after I just got tired of it and decided to break up all the rocks last week. So this has been in stage 1 for a week. And I'm going to get all of this rinsed off. We did have our first freeze here, so I had to turn off my outside faucet. So trying some different ways to see how I can rinse these rocks outside in the winter. Here I'm trying our cordless pressure washer. Did not work. Do not recommend. Made a terrible mess. Was difficult and time consuming to set up and clean up. I'm going to try something else next week. But anyway, so here is that amber. I'm just putting it all straight back into the barrel. I'm not going to check these, inspect these. If they turn out okay, I will be ecstatic. If they turn out great, I will be even more ecstatic. I have no idea how these are going to go. But put them back in the tumbler, put in some water, and I'm going to put in 3 tablespoons of borax to do a burnishing cycle because that pressure washer did not do a good job cleaning any of these rocks this week. You'll see that. So now I'm going to just get the everything button back up, got it onto the base for, I only did 4 hours this week. I am in a bit of a time crunch to get this video done and put out, but look at how that amber is floating. That's part of the issue that I'm having with this amber is it's just too light. So I did rinse those off and get them put back in, and I don't know what I was doing here. This is not normally how I record this video, and I fixed it for the rest of these. But this does give you an example. You can see when I move the colander just how dirty those rocks were after being rinsed. So all of my batches this week were that dirty, even having been rinsed. So these are going to go into stage 2 this week. They've now been burnished, so put in some more water. And I'm putting in just 4 tablespoons of stage 2, which is the recommended amount for the stage 2 this size barrel. So I'm putting in a tablespoon of borax. I feel like the borax really did help with the slurry. So if you were kind of on the fence about it, I really would recommend putting in borax with your grit. It seemed to help a lot. I only did 2 tablespoons of the stage 2 grit, by the way. Stage 4 is recommended for this size, but amber doesn't go through grits at all, so I'm not worried about it. So, all right, amber finally going into stage 2. So this should be done in a couple of weeks, and we will see how it all turns out. Who knows? You're not even supposed to tumble amber to begin with. So now moving on to Beryl and Polly, which was put into stage 2 last week. This is what I'm talking about. The slurry looks so much better this week with that borax being mixed in. It's much thicker, seems to stick a lot better. Pressure washer still did a terrible job rinsing these, but yeah, I am a fan of adding borax into all of my cycles now. So I am going to quickly go through these. Oh no, I didn't go through these yet. These are going into a burnish. All of my barrels are getting burnished this week. One of them wasn't supposed to, but I kind of got into the zone and forgot about it. But put all the rocks back in the barrel, put in the water, and then 3 tablespoons of borax. I'm going to be a broken record this week. 3 tablespoons of borax, put them on. Again, I only burnished these for about 4 hours. I just did not have the time to do a long burnishing cycle on them, or this video would not have come out on time at all. So stage 2 burnish. Look at how dirty that water is. It is so dirty. These rocks really needed this bath. So got them all cleaned up, and remembered how I shoot my videos. And now I am going through them briefly, just looking at any of these that might have some little surface cracks or divots where grit could collect. I just need to make sure that there isn't any grit being carried forward. So I do go through this pretty quickly. Just a really quick cursory glance. I am looking for anything that looks like grit, or maybe a bit of tumbling media or something like that, or something sharp or jagged that needs to get taken out. I don't see any, so I just put everything back in. And this barrel's a little light. There could be more rocks in there, but I'm not worried about it. So I put my water in, and now I'm going to put in my tablespoon of borax, and then I put in 4 tablespoons of stage 3 grit, 6 is recommended, but this isn't even, this is just slightly more than halfway full, so I didn't put in as much grit. If I don't like how they turn out, I can always restart at stage 3. So anyway, stage 3, these will be going into stage 4 next week. So they are looking really good. So Catdog on Fire. This is the Cheetah Jasper, Labradorite, and Fire Quartz. Again, nice looking, very thick slurry. They rinsed off fairly well. The Fire Quartz is actually surprising me. It's doing pretty good. This is the batch that didn't need to go into a burnishing cycle, but I did it anyway because I was kind of on autopilot putting everything into a burnishing cycle. I want to say only about 2 or 3 rocks were ready to get pulled out, but that's fine. I think I'll have a stage 2 barrel for these next week. And if I get too impatient, I always have my 1 pound barrel I can use. So I wanted to top this barrel up, so that's the last, almost the last of my fire quartz. That was a very square piece of quartz. I've never seen a piece of quartz that square. Anyway, so put in the water, put in about 3 tablespoons of borax, and then we are ready to put this, sorry, it's on the burnishing cycle. Didn't need it, but I did it anyway. So now you can see that these were actually pretty dirty. Still, all of my rocks are really dirty this week. Alright, so we're going to get those rinsed off. And since these didn't need to go into that burnishing cycle, they really could have just gone straight into another round of stage 1. I'm just going to pour these straight back into the barrel. It's looking a little light still. So I kind of decided after the water and the grit that I put 4 tablespoons of the grit because I've learned I've been putting too much grit in. Anyway, I did throw in the last of my fire quartz there at the end, just to fill that barrel up a little bit more. So those are in stage 1 for another week. I think I'll have some that are going to be ready next week, but we'll see. And the last barrel, Moonstone, that's in stage 2 currently. That slurry was thick. It filled up that barrel. I was surprised. Very, very gorgeous. These rocks are just turning out so nice. So these were in stage 2. We're going to get them rinsed, brought inside. You can see how dirty that barrel is. They go straight from the colander back into the barrel. And I rinsed the barrels out. So that pressure washer just was not doing it. So I put all of the rocks back into that barrel. Putting in 3 tablespoons of borax to do the burnishing cycle, and these are going to be going into stage 3, and to get that buttoned up. Again, I normally burnish for about 6 to 8 hours, but this week I'm only doing it for about 4. I was kind of lucky that I even was able to do 4. But, yeah. So, dump this out. Again, you can just see how filthy these rocks were. My water's not normally nearly that dirty for burnishing cycles. Usually it's pretty clear. So, I'll need to come up with a different solution for next week. But, I, again, am going to just briefly kind of check these over, make sure there's not any grit that's being held in any kind of crevices or divots. Since I don't wait for my stones to be 100% perfectly smooth, I move them on before a lot of people would. Then I am always careful to make sure that I check for any sort of inconsistencies. I didn't find any. I do have a water pick to kind of help clean them out if I need to. But yeah, so got those sorted through, made sure everything was nice. Put in the water, put in my tablespoon of borax, and then 4 tablespoons again of the stage 3. Again, should be 6, but these barrels aren't as full as they could be, so I'm just going a little light on the polish. Or this is pre-polish. So these are going into stage 3. along with the Beryl and Polly that's in stage 3. Amber's gone into stage 2, and Catdog on Fire is just sort of chugging along. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.